Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bring It Dawn. Let's head to Euphrates II and help with the siege. I'm here to chew bubblegum and purge heretics, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Lord Captain, the United Corps of the Exploradors and Militia Forces is ready to attack the heretics who took over Euphrates II. The commanders recognize the Lord Inquisitor's sanction and agree to cede the right of supreme command to you. They ask that you summon a council of war in order to establish the plan of attack. How should we respond? I take it that they are not threatening to fire anymore. That's better. If your lordship so desires, I'll relay a demand for an official apology for the act of outrageous impudence that took place. Now summon them to the bridge. We will hold a council. Consider it done, your lordship. I'll notify the commanders that you're ready to meet with them. And we have home field advantage for the meeting. Better watch out, buddy. Come on, old man. Oh, it's Opticon 22. The leader of the Explorer warriors appears on the bridge, and the bulkhead trembles beneath his metal gate. He has acquired a new set of fearsome armor since last the two of you met, and his mechadendrites are now fitted with more formidable weapons of destruction. Unit Opticon 22 initiating identification official greeting procedure, unlocking the option of strategic data exchange. Thorbold Ironhide. The Emperor's Angel follows in his wake. I think it was the opposite. Is clad in armor the color of a tempestuous ocean. You hear his voice, throaty and brimming with untamed boldness and strength. Which one of you Carls is Donald von Valancius? I'm Thorbold Ironhide. I wish to see the mortal who is granted the honor of leading my pack into battle. Thorbold Ironhide, you face Donald von Valancius. Thorbold takes the measure of you and nods in satisfaction. I know the habits of a warrior when I see one. You know indolent Yoka. Good. I give my approval. We'll hunt the sorry heretics together. You haven't changed, Brother Thorbold. Uppity and brazen without measure. You carry yourself on another's Drekker like it is your own. So Drekker is a longship that the people of Fenris use before they turn into Space Marines, the actual tribes on Fenris. It's also what they often call their ships, their void ships. The wolf bursts into booming laughter and bares his long fangs. Such is the breed of leaders, Ulfar. We stand out. 'Tis you, Everlost, who can't find his way when the sun is right over your head. Another explosion of Thorbold's boisterous laughter drowns out Ulfar's stifled yet furious string of curses. Opticon 22. How'd you go from overseeing logistics to commanding armies? This command promotion hierarchy status update was executed following the death, decommissioning, deconstruction of the ship Teeth of the Wrathgear. The fleet's war conclave is operating aboard that vessel. Unit Opticon 22 received premature rank promotion modernization. Magos Dominus based on his extensive catalog of recorded combat engagements. May your service benefit from the updated protocols that were bestowed upon you, and the new analytical data that was entrusted to your elucidation. May the Omnissiah guide operate this unit in his cause mission algorithm of service to him. Let us commence this war council. What good is another war council with a cog priest who knows not the joys of battle, who cut off his parts and replaced them with augments to please his all-knowing master? He will propose again a cowardly plan unworthy of warriors, as is the custom of his brethren. Registering a show of impertinence, data insufficiency, and regard to the military craft eradication methods of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Ishara. Are you having another fight, gentlemen? How predictable. A woman in power armor walks onto the bridge with an air of superiority around her. You remember seeing her before, and the retinue of Xavier Calcazar when he barged into your chambers after your Magna Accessio. Thank you for not starting without me. Acolyte Ishara, dispatched by the Lord Inquisitor to facilitate the operation on Euphrates II. My privileges on this war council are those of an advisor. Heinrichs and Ishara exchange glances, but do not say a word. I cannot help but notice the furrow that forms on the interrogator's forehead at the sight of his colleague. So, shall I begin our war council, or shall we rather wait for heretics to corrupt this planet completely? Ishara, why are you here? The Lord Inquisitor entrusted me with the task of forging an alliance between the assembled fleet and the forces of the Cognizance fleet. Once this task is complete, I'm to act as an observer and a special operative. And what are your responsibilities as a special operative? I'm afraid the Lord Inquisitor did not give me the authority to elaborate on this matter. There is no surprise in my heart. The Inquisition is, as always, too ashamed of its dark deeds to reveal them to honorable fighters. Someone makes a show of spitting on the floor. I feel like a commissar wouldn't condone spitting. Especially on Imperial property. There'll be no spitting aboard my ship. Do I make myself clear, esteemed Thorbold? What's this? A show of character. Thorbold growls and locks his indignant gaze with yours. Fine. I'll respect your wishes, Warlord. But the bitter taste of my suspicion burns my mouth. With pointed contempt, he steps away from Ishara. Why did Calcazar choose you? I happen to have some experience with large-scale bloodshed, rogue trader. That, and I never failed to deliver results. What troops can you spare to reinforce our army? The militia forces have already been transferred to Opticon 22. All I have left under my command is a tactical unit explicitly instructed to carry out the Lord Inquisitor's special assignments. I see. It's about time we moved on to discussing how we intend to kill the heretics. You two do not get along too well, do you? You read hearts like they're inscribed with runes, Donald. Thorbold lets out a mocking chuckle. 'Tis true. My brothers and I grow tired of this cog priest and his naysay. For whatever reason, he thinks himself our lord. I concur with this statement, given that the military action Sacred Purgative Crusade Eradication Procedure takes place in a world devoted to the Machine God. Unit Opticon 22 insists on his privileged status in the matter of strategy selection. Answer me this, Thorbold. If Opticon 22 were to come to Fenris and start ordering you around, what would you do? The Space Wolf bellows with unpleasant laughter. I'd like to see him try. Fine, I hear you. No one will accuse Thorbold Ironhide of disrespecting the masters of the house, where he arrived as a guest. You'll hear no more arguing from me, only silence. I'll kill the heretics in the manner chosen by the esteemed Cog Priest. Space Wolves do tend to have appreciation for the, as he put it, master of the house. I need a complete report on the situation at the front. Euphrates II is a forge world. Manufactoriums and extractiums take up most of its surface. Upon corrupting them, disrupting their production algorithm, the heretics enhance their ranks with possessed mechanisms and false, defective, traitorous Skitarii whose protocols were disfigured with indoctrinating scrap code. Our forces have secured minor footholds on the surface, but are unable to deliver an effective blow to the headquarters operations center of the profaners in the Machine Cathedral at the heart of Manufactorium Sigma S13. According to the available data, it is the current location of the Arch-Heretic termination target, the Dark Apostle, Erlon the Cruel. Also, can I hover over that? I think I could. I can't. We may outnumber the enemy, but ours is a poor warband. All it has is steel carls of the Omnissiah, and scantily trained serfs from across the expanse. While our foes the detestable, but nevertheless deadly putrid-hearted traitors from the ranks of the Wordbearers, and their vessels protect the Machine Cathedral from orbit. Why have you still not commenced planetary assault? There is a conflict, critical error, categorical lack of understanding of the imperatives of this operation within our chain of command. Unit Thorbold Ironhide is in favor of the strategy of mass destruction, which would constitute an unacceptable violation of the right of operation. Every square meter of the manufactorums is sacred, of high productivity value. Which is why the Cog Priest is so intent on hindering and sabotaging our assault, by refusing us forces and landing Drekkars. But Thorbold Ironhide won't fight on the terms of priests. My battle plan is rejected. The Omnissiah's servants can retake the planet themselves. Maybe they think their lives mean nothing compared to their precious cathedrals, but a wolf knows what his life is worth. Also, he said he wasn't going to talk back. Opticon 22. I must say my curiosity is piqued. The Exploradors are hiding something on that planet. Something you refuse to show to anyone and are now loath to destroy. What is it? The Tech Priest Vox creaks stubbornly. Request denied. The Omnissiah's mysterious procedures conducted on Euphrates II are to remain undisclosed according to the protocol vow of preservation of the hallowed from the profane. This is why on Fenris, we have the priests follow the warriors, not the other way around. The priests never think about the battle ahead, only their tenets and taboos. But a wolf must think only of battle and his enemy's death, not about preserving cathedrals or counting the trophies that await him. Opticon 22. What do you propose our plan should be? Our strategic analysis points toward a full-scale offensive as the optimal course of action. The losses among the troops and significant personnel laity will be numerous, but will not exceed acceptable parameters. Punishing such losses will be less arduous than restoring the damage that may otherwise come from to the manufactorums, not from them. Our Thorbold, what would you do if you were in command of this operation? Excuse me. I'd rain down vengeful skies upon the enemy. I'd plow the land of Euphrates II with shells, shatter their defenses, level the fortified towers, throw their hosts into disarray. And in that whirlwind of fury, I'd lead my glorious pack to pave a path of blood for the Cog Carls. I've heard your opinions on this. Choose your strategy wisely. It's not every day you get to heed the advice of a seasoned warrior, one chosen by the Allfather himself to bring death to the foes of humanity. I shall now present to you the plan of our assault on Euphrates II. The first step is obvious. We eliminate the Machine Cathedral's orbital support. But what planetary assault strategy will you choose following the destruction of the enemy Void Fleet? Yeah, I feel like option 2 is obviously the most balanced option. We'll begin by bombarding the enemy's positions, then advance cautiously. We must conserve our troops. Your plan bores me. This is not the Space Wolves' way of war, but such cowardly strategies are the limit of the Omnissiah's Cog Carls. So you have my approval. My pack will do all that is asked of it and stand at the vanguard of the assault. Until we meet on the field of battle, Donald. Thorbold looks at Ulfar with a smirk. And I say the same to you, Ulfar Everlost. It's a pity your pack will not share in this glorious victory with us. Ulfar lets out a bestial grumble and says to you, that boastful Grizoff talks too much about my pack. He knows what my brothers are, I can smell it. Before we dive into the carnage, summon him to your ship and let me question him. I wish to hear what he knows, while he still hasn't lost his blathering tongue to the heretics. Strategy confirmed is optimal. Updating the Skitarii tactical programs. Transmitting this unit's general blessing authorization for offensive action. The Lord Inquisitor will be delighted at the news that some semblance of order was established in the command. I wish you luck, Rogue Trader. Luck? You know who you're talking to? What's this? A quote from the sacred text catches your eye. Ruthlessness is the kindness of the wise. How do we summon that guy to our ship? Where's Ulfar at?
Let us raise our cups at Vater, in honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come.
Why do you wish to meet with Thorbold?
If anyone knows where my pack brothers are now, he does. But it is not right to speak of such things within others' hearing. That is why I thought it better to keep silent at the War Council.
Inform Thorbold that he's invited to board the ship.
I thank you, Vater.
He brought a buddy. Thorbold has not come alone, with a young brother in arms. With a mocking glance at Ulfar, he bellows. Thorbold Ironhide is here. Why have you summoned me, rogue traitor? Speak to me. Ulfar's usual brash joviality has evaporated from his voice. Know you, Thorbold, whether the path of battle has led my pack, the baleful Howl. You haven't lost your pack, have you ever lost? Young Wolf's voice is strong and insolent, and richly melodic. He tilts his head in mocking concern, watching Ulfar's complexion change to match the violent shade of his hair. We did not have a chance to talk properly at the council. I wanted to meet you. Huh, of course you do. Who'd miss a chance to strike up a friendship with the illustrious leader of the equally illustrious Stormbiters? I go on, Halbrand. Recite the saga of my exploits. Make sure to include the landing in the Void Kraken's mouth. This is Halbrand the Brave, the most sonorous voice in my pack. Thorbold nods at the tall wolf, who seems to radiate the proud vigor of a warrior. Be who, not whose. Whose seems. I think you meant to say Halbrand the Braggart, no? For his verses often weave together the truth with his own flights of fancy. Ulfar smiles vindictively, with a viciousness utterly unbecoming of an angel of the Emperor. Now it is Halbrand's turn to blush. Thorbold chuckles. Thank you for the correction, Everlost. I reckon we could do without the saga. Are all wolves so hostile toward one another, or is it something personal, the two of you? Thorbold chuckles. It is only friendly nipping. If there was hatred between us, the walls of this glorious hall would have long since been painted with blood. Such is a warrior's nature, a wolf's nature. When we meet with strength, we test our teeth on it. Ulfar huffs a laugh in response, but there is a personal side to it as well. The Stormbiters have always tried to best the baleful Howl and the glory of their exploits. Tried and failed. My pack was and remains superior. Why do you call Ulfar Everlost? You do not know. I'm not surprised. Brother Ulfar does not care for the moniker. He has had it since his early years in the chapter. When Ulfar underwent his trial of the Cup of Wolfen, he took so much longer than the others that the Rune Priest gave him up for lost. Later, he received grievous wounds and raids that sent him into stasis sleep for a long time. Anytime we would pay a visit to the baleful Howl, we would ask, "Where's Brother Ulfar?" And he was always resting. And recently he went missing altogether, lost after an attack on Xenos. Thorbold grins mockingly, his long fangs glinting. I forget not to tell of the dire curse that of yore was laid upon the mighty Ulfar. No good death for him is fated, only to one day be lost, bereft of glory and honor. Halbrand declaims the line so sonorously and powerfully that the bulkheads begin to vibrate. Any who cross his path, let him regale, and gladly, that proud warrior, Halbrand Blatherskite, singer of rumors and fine tattler of tall tales, for he has glimpsed no worthy deeds in his short life. Do you know where Ulfar's pack is now? Feasting with the Allfather in the Hall of Heroes, I reckon, with Miaud filling their horns to the brim, as valor and loyalty did fill their hearts. Lies. Did you see their bodies? Which of the brothers will avow the truth of these words? Ironhide never lies. Young Wolf's arm cuts through the air like an axe, and he angrily points at Ulfar. And you, Everlost, watch your tongue, unless you want my dagger to deliver a penance of eternal silence upon you. No, we did not see their bodies. We heard their ranting and raving, which can only lead to the jaws of Mordkai. Mordkai is the god of death that they worship on Fenris. Often it's a two-headed wolf motif that you'll see. The axe in his portrait has a Mordkai on it. And actually, the axe in his portrait is a fairly famous axe that I assume we're going to find at some point in the game. Which may have other ramifications elsewhere in 40k, but we'll see. There's something else I wanted to touch on. Oh, I think this guy might be a Bloodclaw. A Bloodclaw is like the base rank for Space Wolves. Basically, they take all the young, new Space Wolves and put them in units where they kind of just run amok and let their bloodlust kind of temper out over time. I would like to know the details. In the battle in which you, Everlost, Arnulf, and Skadi were captured by the Xenos, the Baleful Howl took prisoners of their own. Under torture, the captive Xenos gave up the star coordinates of where they were to go next. Some important meeting, it seems. The place was far away, deep in the uncharted regions where the servants of the Allfather have never ventured. And your brothers decided to go there. No navigator would dare lead them to those dark places. So your brother seized a trading boat and voyaged there without a helmsman. The Space Wolves have done that before as well. There was a group... Oh, shoot. I remembered his name until I tried to say it. A group of Space Wolves actually ventured outside the galaxy. I think came across a planet that was hostile. I don't remember if they died there or if they came back. Not a lot of people have ventured beyond the galaxy, at least named characters. You could come up with whatever you want. You can create your own canon if you wished, but... Shoot, what was his name? It was on the tip of my tongue. That's alright. So you abandon them to their grueling march. Ulfar's voice drops to a menacing rasp. Lower your hackles. I urge them not to throw away their lives in vain. Nothing but death could await them among those malevolent stars. We all came here to serve the Allfather and repay our blood debt, not to die for naught. Or have you forgotten that, Everlost? Ulfar, what will you do with this knowledge? I will not test our friendship, 8 Vader. I know that if I call upon you to go with me in search of my pack, I'll be taking you away from important battles and the saving of your home. So I will go alone to seek my brothers. But I will not abandon you in your hour of need. I owe you. When we have defeated your enemies, I will leave you and follow the trail. That trail is bloody and has long since gone cold, Brother Ulfar. There's no need to add another body to its tally. As the leader of the Stormbiters, I call you to our pack. Be a brother to us now. Ulfar gives the peaceably smiling Thorvald a penetrating look, his face darkening and his voice dropping low to a bestial snarl. Have you lost your mind, Thorvald? Perhaps it is you who's lost his mind, if you are daring to speak speak so insolently to Ironhide. I don't know why is that so hard to read. A Halbrand's insinuating tone is dripping with such menace that even the drawing of a sword could not have made his threat any clearer. What makes you so certain they are dead? When the Baleful Howl was setting off, we exchanged gifts, our pack runes. Every 10th watch, a priest cast the runes and saw what fate they revealed. 50 watches after the Baleful Howl left, the runes showed calamity. 60 watches after they left, death. Since then, the runes have been voiceless and their patterns hold no meaning. And that's it. The spirits deceive you. Your priest went a little soft in the head, forgot how to read his runes. And for that, you give my pack up for dead. Cowards. The runes do not lie, Ulfar. You know this. I'm sorry about your brothers. Their fate is clear. Why do you want Ulfar to join your pack? He is our brother. You should not be left to wander the galaxy in the company of ordinary mortals, or alone. Wolves are like sharp knives. We hone ourselves against each other, and without brothers, Ulfar will rust and grow dull. Be with us, Ulfar. We will take you in. Go to hell, Thorvald. They'll take you in there. Thorvald. The Associate 2 often speaks when no one has addressed him. Giving you a disgruntled look, Thorvald sternly cuts you off. When it concerns wolf matters, Halbrand will speak if he wishes. Do not forget that we are the chosen warriors of the Allfather, Rogue Trader. Treat us like servants at your peril. Ulfar's eyes flash with fury. Stop there, Thorvald. This mortal rescued me from captivity and proved his valor. I will not stand here and allow him to be disrespected. Space Wolves are one of the few Space Marine chapters that has a modicum of respect for mortals. Many Space Marines view mortals with disdain, or not at all, in some cases. Do you hold this mortal above your brothers? Being without a pack has turned you feral and stupid, Everlost. Ulfar is right. He is loyal to his brothers. Stay out of wolf business, Rogue Trader. I will not reveal the coordinates of the place to which your brothers traveled. Respect your alpha, Ulfar. That is an order. You're too quick to call yourself my leader, Thorvald. Go bark commands at your pups. Who are you calling a pup, Everlost? Unlike your pathetic pack, would soon go into battle and accomplish great deeds. But you, coward that you are, want to shirk your duty. Ulfar's and Halbrand's roars merge into a single word. Duel. Yeah, I think the Commissar in me is going to stop it. So bellow. Stop, soldiers. A harsh shout drowns out the two wolves, who are ready to lunge at one another. Quiet, both of you. You've forgotten where you are. Homecoming can only take place on solid ground, not on a boat. The void and the warp are treacherous, unfit to host a duel of the worthy. Secondly, I am your superior, Ulfar, so I'm not asking but ordering you to back up your chest beating with deeds. If the Baleful Howl pack is alive as you say, let it march to the Stormbiters in the assault on Euphrates II. Let it display the valor all the stories tell of. Will you stand alone for all your brothers, or have you gone soft? Wolf Leader's tone may be threatening, but you notice a sly glint in his eye. Ulfar, on the other hand, is growling furiously, with no matching twinkle in his gaze. We'll see about that. I'll prove that the Stormbiters will never be a match for the Baleful Howl. Eightvater, I must be at your side when you depart for the assault. Promise that you will grant me this honor. Thorvald, why not simply tell Ulfar where to look for his pack? Thorvald's face seems to sag under a sudden weight. When the Baleful Howl left, I became the highest-ranking wolf in the Expanse. I am the Alpha, and it is my duty to ensure that not one of the Ulfar's chosen warriors loses his life for foolish or fruitless ends. Not even Ulfar. I promise, Ulfar, we'll march into battle together. If you prove that your words carry more weight than a battle axe, I'll tell you where your brothers went. If you fail, you will submit. Thorvald's lips curve into a superior smirk. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we begin the assault... Oh shoot, Ladame! The servitor's mindless oculars remind you of the dark glasses Vladame concealed his emotions behind. He has nothing to hide now. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we'll begin the assault on Euphrates II. And go from there. So it sounds like there's gonna be a void battle before we actually land on the planet, so we should head straight into action next time. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.